Okay, welcome to this video. I'm going to have a chat with myself. I'm going to try and bring an idea to life. Communication sometimes is just about trying different things, but ultimately trying to get a point across. And we're going to talk about calf rearing. We're going to talk about the seesaw principle. We're going to talk about our 7 habits or 7 essentials to good calf rearing. We're going to talk about our favorite subject, I think precision microbes, pro and postbiotic liquids, how that fits in as a tool. Maybe first of all, you'll talk about what is the seesaw principle. Yeah, when it comes to the seesaw principle, this is people's worst nightmare, 2 of us. But anyway, when it comes to the seesaw principle and calf health, any infectious disease, we're trying to drive up immunity. So this is the immunity side here, drive up immunity and drive down infection pressure. So when we look at each of the essentials of calf rearing, we're going to focus on that. Probably the best place to start is colostrum, would you agree? Absolutely, colostrum is the place to start. Now, people are sick of hearing vets talk about colostrum, but it is really the foundation of calf health. And when we talk about the 7 principles, we talk about precision microbes as well, but we'll talk at the end. It's a tool, but we've got to get the basics right. We talk about being brilliant at the basics, so I'm going to put it back over to you, because you're on the immunity side, to talk about colostrum. Yeah, so colostrum, okay, everybody, we know the colostrum, quality, quantity, quickly. It is the foundation because those immunoglobulins, if I can pronounce them, in the first milk are key for calf health. They're key for the immune system of the young calf. But colostrum is actually involved in much more than that. It's got prebiotics in it to support the beneficial bacteria in the gut. It's foundational for calf health, and not just colostrum. Transition milk is really important in that story as well. But really important when we think about driving up immunity, focusing on colostrum, feeding cows to get better quality colostrum, getting it in cleanly. Can you talk about the clean piece? Because that's something we have observed practically on farm that's important. Yeah, if you talk about something bugs love, they love colostrum because it's high in fat, it's high in protein, it's an ideal medium for bacterial growth. So when we think about harvesting colostrum, we want to be very careful. 3 E. coli in a mill of colostrum, 6 hours later we can have 280 million, so it really is, we need to be really focused on when we're harvesting colostrum, hygiene, 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 but it is the foundation and building block of calf health. Back over to you then again on, I suppose, pillar number 2 is feeding, isn't it? Absolutely. Problem with these short videos is people say, you didn't say this, you didn't say, but just principles. Feeding and immunity are linked. So particularly in seasonal systems where we have colder weather, if we underfeed calves, we're going to have problems because it's going to suppress immunity. Good feeding, good quality whole milk or good quality milk replacer going in supports growth, but it also supports the immune system. We're big fans of more milk. We're never going to get as much value for, a kilo of dry matter when it comes to calf performance as we will in a pre-weaned young calf. They're monogastrics. So consistency of feeding, we know we want to add in concentrates as early as we can in the first couple of days, and fresh clean water as well. But feeding is critical after colostrum in the pillars of successful calf rearing. What's next? Is it hygiene? Yeah, hygiene is number 3. So on this seesaw, driving down infection pressure means driving down bacteria and infection. It starts in the dry cow pens, keeping things as clean as reasonably as possible, having protocols to reduce infection pressure. High priority equipment like stomach tubes, feeding, regular cleaning protocols where you actually go through a regime and as regularly as often keep things clean, minimize exposure to pathogens. Hygiene really, it's associated with something like 50% of calf health issues. So it's pillar number 3. What's number 4? Number 4 in the calf rearing story is fresh air. It's actually, you can actually link it back to the seesaw again, because fresh air actually drives down infection pressure. It's nature's natural disinfectant. But if we get too much fresh air in the shed, it can actually affect immunity. Calves can get cold. So getting fresh air right, I think, is a very shed-specific thing. Each shed is different. If we're trying to put more air in sheds, sometimes simple things like calf jackets and more milk feeding can support that metabolism and the effects of cold air. But definitely, when we think respiratory disease, getting fresh air right on calves is huge. Really pays into the immunity piece. Number 5 then is calf comfort. It sounds like a really simple one, but I suppose we've both done cow signals training. It's a really important one. Yeah, so when we think about calf comfort, it sounds a little bit fluffy, but we talk about biological optimization. What does the calf actually want? A warm, dry bed. Remembering that calves suffer cold under 15 degrees, particularly under 10 degrees, and we want to eliminate pain, because what pain does is it causes stress, and it actually drives down immunity. So, when we're dehorning, local anesthetic, anti-inflammatories, warm, dry lie, actually we're fans of group housing, social behavior of calves. This all feeds into better calf performance. So calf comfort is really about thinking about what the calf wants, optimizing it for better calf performance, health and welfare in simple terms. Yeah, number 6 is space per calf. Really simple one, but if we have a lot of calves in the same area, air quality decreases, and actually that's again what bugs like. So it's back to the bugs like, not bugs life, that's a film. It's back to, you know, the seesaw principle. Space is a really simple one, it's an expensive one, 2 meters squared per calf, but it's really one of the limiting factors of disease where we see issues. We have too many calves in a house or maybe on an automatic feeder. We love automatic feeders, but they need to be managed correctly. Number 7 is a new one for us. We've really thought about this one and seen it again practically on farm. Maybe you'd cover number 7? Yeah, number 7 is water quality. It kind of fits in again here. It's often a forgotten one on the infection pressure piece, but we've done you'll see the screen behind us. We've done a lot of testing of water, looking at water. It's not an issue on every farm, but when you have big systems, you've a lot of pipe work, you've header tanks, we can get the build-up of this biofilm or slime. And the problem with that is when we get bugs in water, we're adding maybe water to drinking calves drinking water, or adding water to milk replacer and providing heat and a food source. We can see proliferation. So water quality is a simple one. It needs to be looked at on an individual farm basis, particularly with header tanks or bigger farms with lots of storage systems. The build-up of this biofilm and pathogens in water can affect calf health. Okay, so there are 7 essentials. There's a seesaw. Colostrum, drive up immunity. Feeding, drive up immunity. Driving down infection pressure with hygiene. Looking at fresh air's role in this seesaw. Space per calf, calf comfort, minimizing stress, and finally water quality. When we think about the immune system, we do want to think and bring one more idea to life, and that is when we think about pro and postbiotic liquids, we think about beneficial bacteria. It's not all about pathogens. Actually, most bacteria are beneficial and they can play a real role in driving up immunity. And this is where we've both been amazed with Precision Microbes Pro and Postbiotic Liquids and their role in supporting gut health and immunity. Would you like to give your opinion? I sure would. I love opinions. We both have lots of them. I think when we think about microbes, the role of, I suppose, aiding in digestion, 70% of the immune system's in the gut. So if we're supporting better gut health, we're increasing immunity. And also their ability to compete with harmful pathogens in the gut. They're game changers. And I think the liquid nature of Precision Microbes Pro and Postbiotics, it's revolutionary. We're a long time working. We're both nearly 22 years qualified. This will be very confusing for people who don't know me. We're qualified a long time. We've worked with a lot of tools. These are the most effective tools we've seen. Maybe, I suppose, go through what we're actually practically seeing on farm. Yeah, and that's why we started with the 7 basics of calf rearing. They're tools. And what we're seeing is with long-term feeding, 30 mils a day per calf in milk, right up to weaning, is we're seeing improved immunity. We're seeing less digestive issues, healthier, stronger calves. So all the trial work we did, where between treatment and control, calves were outperforming the control group. Because when you support gut health and digestive health and improve gut health, you improve digestion, you support the immune system, and yes, you compete with harmful pathogens. So really, really exciting. So some people will think, wow, what an ego talking to himself. You have to have a bit of fun, don't you? I was only saying to a good friend of mine, well, actually a good friend of both of us recently, that we have to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's just trying to bring ideas to life. And again, if you're worried about what people think of you, you do nothing. Anyway, a little bit of psychology to end up. But really, it's about the fundamentals. Think about the seesaw. Think about the things that improve immunity and drive down infection pressure. Check out www.Precision Microbes website to hear about what people are saying about our product and what it's doing to calves. We think it's a game changer.